So, welcome back to week 3 of Become the Scriptwriter Part 3. Today, we're going to be talking all about money mindset. I'm Gabby from Gabriella Pet Photography Education, GPPE, and I'm here to help you with your pet photography and your mindset. And today, I'm going to help you make money. You might say, Gabby, but you said we're talking about mindset. You didn't say we're talking about making money. Well, obviously, if you don't have the right mindset, you won't be able to make money. So let's start and talk again about our mindset. And today it's all going to be around money. So we're going to go through the circle of life that we talked about in the at the other episodes. And anybody who hasn't watched, I definitely think you should watch part 1 and 2. So it gives you more context as to what we're talking also today. So the first part we talk about is always the belief system. The belief system that we have is an axiom. An axiom is something that is a belief that without a doubt, that's what we think is life, that's what we think reality. And through that, our whole life basically is created. So once we have this belief, what happens? We get a feeling. So if I have a belief that it's very hard to make money, what's my feeling that's going to be with that? I'm going to feel bad, right? I'm going to get all those bad chemicals that we talked about, and I'm going to shut down all my creativity because I'm going into flight and fight mode. On the other hand, if you have a axiom, belief, beyond any doubt that life is amazing, you feel great, and everything that you do afterwards goes with your creative part, and you feel much better. So let's continue with this. And after the feeling that we have about any kind of belief that we have comes the action, meaning we actually act and do everything in our life due to that belief axiom that we have. So if we feel like money is very hard to make and we feel bad, what is our action going to be? It's going to be an action that has to do with not making money. Maybe we get a small job. Maybe we get a job even that we hate. Maybe, who knows, we're going to do a million different things that are all going to be a part of that belief of ours that, sorry, that money is hard to make. And then what happens? The outcome affirms the axiom. So what happens? We got that job, we're not making money, and now what are we going to say? We're going to say, aha, you see, I was right. Why? Because you had a belief, you felt something, you acted off of it, and then it affirms itself and goes back to the axiom, and you're like, you see, it's very hard to make money. And this is the circle that we've been talking about since I started teaching the first 2 episodes, and we're going to talk about it a little more now. And we're going to really go into the money issues that go with this. But before that, what I want to do is I want to give you a list of a few things that this is where you got your money language, or this is where you got your money beliefs in your operating system. So we talked about the operating system, which is the system that's created since we are 0 to 7, when we are basically getting everything from our surrounding. And again, if you go back to episode 1, you'll learn more about how our operating system was created. So we have these money beliefs already in our operating system. And I'll remind you, they're not even our beliefs, right? They're our parents' beliefs. It's people around us, everybody that we listened to when we were younger. So we have these different beliefs about money. And what I want to do now is I want to give you a few things to think about. And you should be writing what your thoughts and beliefs are around each one of these things. Some of them might resonate, some of them might not. You might have 10 others that I didn't write here that you can find afterwards where your beliefs comes from. But I'm going to start with a few that I put up here. Now, you could do it now. People who are online, that join us online, thank you, first of all, for being here online. Definitely you could do it while we're talking. We're going to get back to this at the end of the video. And if you're just watching on YouTube right now, then you could stop the video and write down the different things that come up to you when you hear these sentences. So the first thing is, my parents always said money is. So it could be, my parents always said money is hard to make. My parents always said money is evil. My parents always said money is very easy to make. Just put your mind to it. Whatever it is, there is something, and it could be a few different things that you got from your home, from your parents, even if they just said, oh, we can't afford that right now. So sit down with yourself, take, a few minutes and try and figure out any kind of money beliefs that you think that came from this scenario. The second one is, when I was young, money was. So if you think of yourself and you were in a situation at home, what was money to you when you were growing up? So again, it could be money was not talked about. Money was something that only rich people had. Money, we didn't even have money to pay our bills. Whatever you can come up with, think about it from your side, how you felt about money through what was going on in your surrounding. In my religion, money is considered. So we know that in different religions, there are different things that are said by different people about money. Sorry. So if you have anything that you think that came from either from the institution that taught, or from school, or from parents, or whatever, but it came through religion, that's another place that we get a lot of our beliefs. And it can be any religion. Again, it's not one specific religion. Every religion is also talked about in 100 and 1,000 different ways by different teachers. So obviously, some teach things about money. Another thing is, if I make a lot of money, people will think X about me. What are people going to think about you if you're going to make a lot of money? Do you think about making $200,000 a year, or saying, I want to make $200,000 a year? What are people around you going to think about you? Are they going to be supportive? Or are they going to say, oh my God, money is all you care about. You're not a good person. Whatever it is, think about things that you've heard also in your life if you ever brought up the option of making money. If I change a lot, if I change, oh, sorry, if I charge a lot of money, people will think of me X. So this is going towards, again, the world of IPS, and me telling you, you can make thousands of dollars from a client, an average. And what does the first thing that comes up to you, what do you feel about charging a client a lot of money? So for me, for example, the first client that I have, I remember that the thing that happened to me was that I felt so, it's like the imposter syndrome. It's like, oh, she's going to kick me out of the house because she's going to say I'm stealing money. And how do I dare even say these prices? I had issues also, even though I came ready, supposedly. I came to the United States with a price list. I came with my roadmap that I talk about also in the past videos about one day making $1 million with 3 different businesses that I was planning on having. So even I, and even anybody else that teaches, we're still people. We'll still have, those moments that we're learning and teaching ourselves how to get better. And this is another place where you could definitely find some of your money beliefs. Rich people are. So that's a very good one. So if you look at Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, and I don't know, all kinds of names that I don't know, people that have a lot of money. It could even be just people around you that are rich and have, the nice houses and the nice cars or whatever. Rich people are. Do you have any kind of beliefs about rich people? Because if you have a belief that, let's say, rich people are bad people, what happens is, in your subconscious, you don't want to become rich, because if you become rich, you're going to become a bad person. So again, these beliefs are very, very important to figure out. People that have money fight more. So we see people that or inheriting money and fighting over money, or parents that are fighting because of lack or because of having too much money, divorces that, are all about money. So maybe you have some kind of belief about if there's too much money, it will create, more fights and more arguments between people. And I don't want money because of that. So that's another place where you would want to look. So this is the time that you could either stop the video and write, any of your beliefs that came up from there. And what I want to do now is I'm going to show you a few sentences that you might have heard during your life, and you can probably add another 10, 20, 30 to what I wrote here. But this is just an example of how most of us live, and we don't think about it twice. It doesn't seem even like a problem to any of us. One second. This one, you mean? You wanted to see this? Okay. Sorry, I don't see the chat so much. So, yeah, you can take a picture of this if you want also. And obviously, you can get it in the group. Anybody who wants any of these slides, or the whole thing, I can put it in the group, my Facebook group, the Gabriela Pet Photography Education. And you can download it from there also. Just remind me afterwards. Okay, so hopefully you got a picture of this, a screenshot or whatever you need. And now I'm just going to talk a little bit, a few sentences that you'll say, oh, I heard that. Oh, I heard that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Now, who didn't hear that sentence, right? Yep, Diane, I'm sure you did. We all did. So there are so many sentences that we were, just in regular conversation at home that will come up that we didn't even think about, and we call it our reality because, it's part of our belief system already. So these are things that actually create blocks, okay? And we're going to talk about it soon, but everything that you hear, if you remember, we talked about repetitive action. Anything that happens many times, at the end becomes part of your operating system, and it's part of your life. It's part of your reality, but it's a reality that you created, and you can create a different one. So when we heard this, and by default, and not knowing that we can do things differently, think of it. How many times we heard it, and then we believe that money doesn't grow on trees. But you know what? What if you believe that money does grow on trees? It's exactly the same lie. But which one will make you feel better? And which one will make you create and have and make money at the end also? Probably the one that says, yeah, money does grow on trees. Okay? Money can't buy happiness. Yay. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. He who serves money has no master but greed. Ooh, scary. Riches are chains made of gold. Where there's money, there's corruption. Money poisons everything it touches. Money is the root of all evil. Everybody knows that one. There are more important things to do in life than make a lot of money. So, very, very small, amount of sentences. Anybody who has more to add, I'd love you to in the group or in private afterwards add more sentences. I don't see the chat so much, so but I'd love to hear more that you can think of. But this is not knowingly how we're brainwashed, okay? And when we hear it again and again and again, and we have the repetitive action that happens, it becomes our operating system. We're on autopilot, and we're living off of this. Now, whose beliefs are these? Are they ours? No, they're whoever told us, our parents, our friends, our whoever was around us that said these things when we were younger. And then it became our operating system, and we don't even know it's in our operating system. Nowadays, we will call it our reality. This is life, okay? But I'm here to tell you no. This is your life because you picked this. You can change your life if you pick something else. And this is what we're going to be talking about, how you pick something else in order to be able to have different beliefs. So your operating system will be there to support anything that has to do with making money. Why aren't you making money? So we're going to go back to this again because this is the most important thing, and everything comes through this. And as we said, repetitive action makes things in your operating system. So I'm going to go through this again and again until this is in your operating system and you're able to do this on your own and take any situation in life and put it into this. I'm going to say this to everybody. Everything that I'm teaching here right now, I'm talking about money, but it's right about everything. It can be about relationships. It can be about health. It can be about anything in your life that you feel you're stuck. You can use this. This is really the secret to how you change your life in any aspect. So I'm going to go over it again and again and again until you say, oh my God, I got it. So here we go, an axiom. It's hard to make money. Okay? That is a belief. Is it true? Well, it's true to whoever believes it. I can stand right next to you in the same place where you are with the exact same business as you are putting together, in the same location where you are, and I can say, oh my God, money is everywhere here. Look, people are paying me so much money. So it's hard to make money becomes your belief when you think about it so many times, and it goes into your operating system, and that's where you operate from. And you're never going to be able to change anything as long as you believe this. So as long as you have this axiom in your head, nothing's going to change. What happens again when you think something like this? What's your feeling? Well, not so great, right? It's not great that money is hard to make. I want to make money. I want to travel. I want to do the things that I love. I want to renovate my house. I want to buy a new car. I want to buy gifts for everybody. I want to support my family, whatever it is. Money is great. Money is energy. Money is a thing that this world is able to give us, and it can give the same amount to everybody. There is no limit. Nobody says, oh, wait, you're Diane, you're getting only $100 today, and Gabby is going to get $3,000 today. It doesn't work that way. There is a buffet, and you're picking what you get. You are picking. So if you just go to one side and don't look at everything else, and you're just taking, one thing, that's what you're going to get. What's the action that comes from this? Well, it could be maybe you get a job that you hate. Maybe you don't even try to figure out how you can make money. Your creative side is dead. Why? Because we said once we go into the feeling of not great, what happens in our chemistry lab? So I'm going to remind you, in the chemistry lab, we go into the lab, we have a picture we put up on this TV in front of us, and we have two walls. We have a wall full of chemicals on the right, which are the great chemicals, and we have a wall full of chemicals that, sorry, wrong side. The right side is the stress chemicals. So we have all the stress chemicals in bottles on the right. And then on the left, we have all these bottles full of the amazing, amazing chemicals. And we decide. So if we are looking at a picture now, we created ourselves a little video. We are the script writers, remember. So if we're putting this picture that it's hard to make money, what happens is we get all these bad chemicals, the stress chemicals. And what happens when we get the stress chemicals? It's flight and fight mode. We shut down everything good. We cannot be in our creative side. So we feel bad. And then we can't create. We can't do in our actions. We cannot do anything to change that. In order to be able to change, we're going to need to be in the place where we get the good chemicals, that 5% of the day that we actually are usually in that place that we feel happy, we get the good chemicals, and that's the only place where we can be creative. So again, what happens here? The outcome affirms the belief. So you can say, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Well, I'm telling you here for sure, what came first is what you believe. Because somebody can say, oh, but this is how life is. That's why I believe it. No, it's you believe it, and then it becomes and continues and stays, and you are in this cycle that you can never get out of. Why can't you get out of it? Because you keep thinking the same thoughts. You keep believing the same thing. You keep having the same operating system. No way you can change there. You just go way back to your beliefs, and it just goes around and around and around, and you're stuck in this life that you just hate, and you don't understand what's the meaning of life, why are we here, why do I have to suffer, and all kinds of great thoughts that you can have. So let's take this to the other side now. Another belief: I make $200 annually. Ooh, everybody has a reaction to that. Everybody who's watching now has a reaction. It could be one of two things mainly. One, oh, I wish that could never happen. And one is, oh my God, I'm going to do it. And you know what? There's many more. You can say, oh, that feels good, but I'm lying to myself. But you know what? If we go back to the other one saying, no one can, money is hard to make, you're lying to yourself in the same way. So if you want to call it a lie, I call it a belief. At least lie a lie that helps you feel good and helps you make money. Okay, so when I say I'm going to make $200,000 this year, I feel great. Okay, I feel amazing. I am going to make $200,000 this year. And this number can be whatever number works for anybody. It could be $100,000. As you know, if you know me already, I do not allow less than $100,000 a year in your manifesting or in your road trip road map. So 100,000 is the least I allow you to put in here. But it can be I make $100,000 annually. Sit with that. Sit with it. Imagine your bank account showing, or imagine your QuickBooks at the end of the year showing you made $100,000 this year. How would you feel? Amazing, right? Because that's your goal. You made your goal. Uh-oh, here comes Pippi Longstockings. Remember that friend coming here and talking to you and saying, oh, you can't, oh, you can't. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. And what do we tell her? We say, don't worry. I got this. I got this. So we will still be getting those voices in our heads. Don't worry about them. Learn how to shut them up. Okay? So you're in this place getting these good chemicals now because you're like, oh my God, I made $200,000 this year. Oh my God, I feel so good. And then comes this stupid friend telling you, are you kidding me? You're never going to be able to make $200,000. And what do? You say, shh, it's okay. I've got this. Don't worry about me. I know you're coming from a good place, but don't worry about me. I want to stay in this good place. It feels good. This is where I'm going to be. And I'm the script writer of my life. And this is what I'm writing for myself now. Everything else that I lived until now that didn't work, I didn't even write. I want to be the script writer right now. And I'm writing that I'm making $200,000 a year. And that's it. So, Pippi, bye-bye. And if you don't know why I say Pippi, again, it's in the other videos. So, what happens when you get feeling amazing about making $200,000? Oh my God, you get creative. You figure out the how. You don't give up. And that's a huge thing. Repetitive action, repetitive action. I keep saying it. Also, here with your actions. You can't do one thing. Oh, I put a post on Facebook. Nobody signed up. Seriously? You think that's how people are going to sign up? You got to be in this 100 and 300 and 1,000% figuring it out. This didn't work. Try something else. Try something else. Find other things. Learn. Find people to learn from. Have a group of like-minded people who have already done it. Okay? That's a great place, to be, to find the people who already did it and learn from them. Either learn in courses or learn by talking, having conversations, going on groups. This is your decision. You can spend the whole day feeling like shit and sitting at home and saying nothing works. You can do that. But you can also decide that you're going to take control of your life and you're going to do something different. It's all up to you. There is nothing in this world that's not up to you. If you go back to the other videos again, I'll remind you, we have the good news and the bad news. Yeah, the good news is everything is up to you. You decide and you can take control of your life. And what happens then? The outcome will affirm your belief. And then you make $200,000 a year. Okay? I was having this conversation with one of the photographers the other day. I don't remember who. And I was talking about the workshop that I'm putting together, asking questions. But then this came up. And I was talking about the mini sessions, the $3,000 mini session days that I teach. And I said, oh, I had 3 every month and I made $10,000. And it was so funny. For 3 months consecutive, I had no private clients. I did only the mini sessions, and every month I made around $10,000. So she said to me, you probably asked to make $10,000 at some point a month. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. When I moved here to America, my first goal was to make $10,000 a month. And I know that when I looked through, it was 2023 was the first year that all the months I made over $10,000 and more. But I remember looking at it at the end of the year and saying, oh my God, I did it without even noticing, because one thing I didn't do then, I don't sit with my money. I don't know exactly how much I made and how much, I know in general how much I make every month. But after that, I started having Excels that I actually can see how much I make every month. So that was very interesting that I literally had the belief, the axiom that I'm going to make $10,000 a month. And then when I had 3 months that were the ones that basically maybe I wouldn't be making any money if I didn't hustle. Again, you have to figure out, you have to find the way, always be there. Because you believe one day you're going to make $1 million, you're going to be looking for the way. You're going to be looking to how you make this money. So when I found this way of doing I connected with a groomer, and he was closed on Sundays. So 3 times a month on Sunday, I had a mini session day, and every month, no matter who came and how many people and what they spent, I made $10,000. So that's very amazing. So let's go back to another belief that has to do with the business. No one will pay thousands of dollars for pet photography around me. Now, everybody has this belief who is not yet doing IPS and not yet making thousands of dollars. They all believe this. You believe this. If you're watching this sorry, if you're watching this video, you're here probably because you want to be making more money. So I assume you're not making thousands of dollars yet from every client. So no one will pay thousands of dollars for pet photography around me. Is that true? To you, it is because you're believing it. It's your axiom. Is anybody else around you doing IPS and making thousands of dollars a year? If you a client, if you live in the United States or Canada, I can promise you without a doubt that within an hour radius of where you live, there are photographers making thousands of dollars with each client. So why aren't you? Because you have a belief system that says that nobody will pay. And because of the repetitive action of this, that you said it again and again and again, it's in your system. It's your operating system already. And your actions go from there. So how does that make you feel? It makes you feel stuck. What do? You lower your prices. You match shoot and burn prices. You get upset that nobody will even pay $100 for a session. How do I dare? How does Gabby dare say somebody will pay me $4,000 and $5,000 and $6,000? But first of all, it starts with your belief. Then your action, shoot and burn. If you are charging $150, $200, $300, $400 per session, you're a shoot and burn photographer. You first of all have many more photographers that are your competition, okay? Because 90% of the photographers, that's what they do. So you get also all the people that are the nitpicking people. They're like, oh, well, can you do it for 150 and not 200? That's too expensive. So you hear all these things, and what does that do? It affirms your belief that no one will pay. Do you understand this? This is huge. You have the belief first, and you are creating your life. And you are creating this specific situation, and you're putting it, because you're repetitive and repetitive, you're putting it into your operating system. Your actions are from there, and then they affirm everything that you believe, and then you say, you see, I told you. So the good news and the bad news again. Everything is in your brain. Everything is in your hands to change. It's all up to you. If you're not changing, you're the only person that you can come to and say, it's because of you. So here's the other side of that axiom. There are many people, I can add the many, there are many people that will pay thousands of dollars for pet photography. If she can do it, I can do it. If there's anybody around you doing it, again, if you are living in Israel, this won't work. If you're living in some countries in Europe, this won't work. In some countries in Europe, it still does work. But if you're living in the United States, 95% of the people living in the United States doing photography have in the radius of 1 hour from them, people that are making thousands of dollars with their photography, with IPS, with full service. Now, I'm going to remind you, this is a different type of business. We talk about this a few times. It's a totally different kind of business. Shoot and burn is one business. It's a business that's like a J.C. Penney. It's a business. It's like a low end, a Payless, whatever it is. So you can have that, and at the same time, you can have Tiffany and any other, brand that is expensive. It's two different kinds of businesses. You pick what business you are. If you're going to be the business of J.C. Penney, fine, but don't get upset that nobody's going to pay you thousands of dollars. Nobody goes to J.C. Penney thinking they're going to pay now $5,000 for anything, maybe for buying the whole store. But it's J.C. Penney. The other business is a full service business, catering to people at their home, being everything to these people, creating art, designing art. It's a totally different business. It's a concierge business, okay? You have, you can go, as I mentioned once, you can go buy a dress in JCPenney, and you can have somebody come to you, a designer, and they come and they take your specific, measurements, and they'll make a dress for you, and that's going to cost thousands of dollars. It's not going to cost the same $50 that you buy in JCPenney. So you make the decision what kind of business you are. If you are going to be a full service business, you can make thousands of dollars in this business in America and in Canada, period. If you're not, it's only because you are stopping yourself with your beliefs and your thoughts and axioms and everything that we talked about here. So if I say there are many people around me that will pay thousands of dollars, how does that make me feel? It makes me feel amazing. Is it a lie? It's a belief. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it. Just like you said, a million times, nobody will pay. You can say a million times, many people will pay, and you'll feel amazing. Yeah, you might get Pippi come again. Oh, your great friend coming and saying, you're crazy. Nobody will pay you. Nobody will pay you. This is inside of your brain, but it could be also people from outside. But mainly we're talking about what's happening right now inside your brain. So if you get those thoughts again when you're trying to start this change and you're saying to yourself, There are many people that will pay thousands of dollars, and you get this feeling of, why are you lying? Why are you saying this? This is not true. You know so. You got to stop that thought when it comes and say, thank you. I appreciate you're so concerned about me. I know you're coming from a good place, but I got this. I know what I'm doing. And that calms down those thoughts. Okay? And then we go back into the part of the action. What's the action going to be when you think there are those people around you? You just got to find them, right? Oh my God, where are they? Where can I find them? Now you're going to be all into the action. You're in the 5%. You got the good chemicals. And you're saying, okay, where do I find these people now? Where are they hanging out? That's part of marketing for IPS. Where are these people hanging out? Okay, I'm going to think. How can I get them? How can I get them? Where are they? I know they're coming. They're coming. They're here. I know I can do this. Again, be around people that have done it already. Learn from them. Talk to them. Be in groups on Facebook. Go to YouTube and see whatever you can, about IPS, in-person sales, whatever you can to build this business of yours. It's going to be a full service business. Now, if you're not ready to do this and you can't come 100% into this, don't be nothing will change, right? You stay in your circle, you stay in that place that everything that you do brings you to the same spot and nothing changes. You'll stay there unless you take a conscious decision to change, to take your brain and use it consciously and enlarge that 5% of the place where we are with the good chemicals and change your operating system. You have to do both. Okay, the outcome affirms again our axiom. Suddenly you get your first client, second client that pays you 1,500 or pays you 4,000 or 5,000, and it affirms your belief. And once you get that first client, that's it. It will be easier, but you got to do everything you can to get that first client. Okay, I worked months in Israel to get my price list together. I was on Sue Bryce education. I was on the hair of the dog education. I was learning everything I could about IPS because I had no idea what it was. No idea. I just saw people saying they made $60,000 a month, and I was like, what? So I came from the point of saying, if they can do it, I could do it. I just got to figure out how. And that is where you go and you learn and you learn and you learn and you stick next to people who have done it. You go into the Facebook groups, of IPS, whatever you have to do. And you do everything you can to put that business together. Okay. How many times have you wrote the script? No one will pay around me since you started your business. 20 times? 50 times? Maybe 100 times? Do you remember what repetitive action does? Ta-da! Drum roll. You're correct. It's become your operating system. It became an axiom. You believe it without a doubt. So that's 20, 50, 100 times. Let's look at this. What else do you do that becomes an axiom or that didn't become an axiom? How many times have you wrote the script, I make 100,000 annually? How many times? 0? Maybe you're really, really good and you said it twice since you put your business together? Maybe 10? So do you remember again what repetitive action does? Yeah. It becomes your operating system. It becomes an axiom. But you didn't do it. So do you really want to make $100,000 a year? Do you really want to make $200,000 a year? So what do you have to do? You have to be as easy at saying, I make $100,000 annually, as you were until now, I can't make money. Again, you pick. It's your decision. Why are you deciding to put this stuff in your brain that makes you no money? Put the things in your brain that actually will make you money. So, what do we need to do to crush our money blocks? First, we have to create a new operating system to support the new life. When we talked in the last videos, I was talking about the 5% of the time that we're in our good chemicals and we're creative, and that's where we can create our new life. But, sorry, but you can be in the 5% and at that time say, oh, I can make $100,000. But if your operating system is not built to support that, and you have all those beliefs that we talked about at the beginning of this, nothing's going to change. It's going to stop you because you're going to go back to your old operating system. So you must build this new operating system before anything can change. How do you do that? First, go to that list that we talked about at first. Take each one of those sentences and write the opposite. So if you have a sentence, a belief that you have that says money is hard to make, the opposite is money is easy to make. Those are your new beliefs. The opposite of what you already have in your system is what you have to work on. And how do you work on it? Oh, I think you already know. Repetitive action. So you got to say that again and again and again, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, just like you did the other. This is not like I'm telling you to do something different. I'm telling you do exactly the same as what you've been doing until now. It worked great. You got exactly what you were believing. But change it and make it so it works for the things that you actually want to happen. But because you know already you had to do it 20 or 50 or 100 times, you have to do it now too. So at first, it's not natural to us and it feels weird. But also, if you're going now, as we said, we call this Mindset Anonymous. So if you go to AA and you're starting to stop drinking or doing drugs or whatever, it's very hard at the beginning because you're getting rid of an addiction. It's exactly the same thing here. You're getting rid of an addiction. You're addicted to your beliefs. So at first, it will be hard and it will feel weird. And you're going to miss your comfort zone of feeling shitty. But you have to be persistent, as persistent at least as you were until now, saying how shitty life is. You're very persistent there. Why wouldn't you be persistent with something that could actually make you happy? So you have affirmations. Affirmations are an amazing thing. Take all of those sentences that you're now reversing and create an affirmation list for yourself. Put it up everywhere. Say it every morning 100 times, 10 times. Stop in the middle of the day. Have a timer on your phone. Remind you 3 times a day to say your affirmations. Have a vision board. Look at it all day. Have on it, I'm going to make $100,000. Have on it the trip you want to go to. Have on it the car you want to buy. Have on it the health you want to have, whatever it is. But look at it every day. Every day. Just like you would look at your bank account with no money and say, oh my God, oh my God. You pick, you decide. This is your life. You can be the script writer of your life. Once your operating system is going to be programmed to support your new dreams, it's time to have fun. Okay? So slowly, when you say these things, they're going to start feeling more real, more natural. Your actions are going to start coming out from there. You're going to start doing things very differently. You're going to start feeling good. And only from that part where you can feel good is where you can actually make money. If you feel like shit and you're in flight and fight mode and you're getting no good chemicals, nothing is going to change. Nothing. You can turn off this video, go back to what you were doing. Nothing is going to change. You have to take responsibility for your life. And this is the way to do it. It's so simple. Why isn't everybody doing it? Everybody's addicted. We're addicted since we're born. We have this operating system that we're used to. So we go back to it because that's what we're used to. And this is the end of this 3-week journey that I called Become the Script Writer of Your Life. So become the script writer. Oh, my English sometimes. Oh my God. Become the script writer of your life. Go to that chemistry lab and consciously pick your video and picture. We talked about the lab. You go in, you have the chemicals right all there, and you decide. You decide how you're going to feel today, how you're going to feel right now, how you're going to feel tomorrow. It doesn't matter what happens. For everything that happens, you can decide how you feel about it. The action is happening. You get to pick how you feel about it. So you go into this lab, every single minute that you have a thought, every thought that you have is in this lab. So you can get thoughts that are coming from your operating system that are autopilot already, that come up there and you're not conscious already that this is what you're doing. And you're like, oh, I don't have money. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, I was in a car accident. Oh, everything sucks. Life sucks. Nobody's paying. I don't have clients. Whatever it is, it's happening to you already in autopilot because you have programmed your operating system so well. And you're in unconscious mode and you're just showing yourself those pictures, getting all of those bad chemicals and living that cycle that you're in flight and fight mode. Nothing is going to be able to change. So take a conscious mind and make a decision to be more conscious. It's never going to be 100%. Don't worry about it if it's not. Don't feel bad. Always look at feeling good. Even if you did it twice a day better, feel good about it. After the first video, one of the people that was on the video wrote to me a text and said, you know what, I was driving now, and oh my God, I was able to do what you taught. I didn't get upset. I said, you saw the manicure? You got to go back and see that one. Anyway, you decide what picture is going to be in your brain. If you put the picture of I'm going to make $100,000 a year and you live from that with everything that I taught you, it's a simple way. It's one circle of life that you have to figure out how you change, and everything's going to change in your life. Everything. We talked about 5% of the day that we're in our conscious mind able to create. So you want to make that part larger and larger and larger. And once you have the operating system that can support everything you're doing in your conscious mind and feeling happy, then is when things are going to actually happen. Okay? Dream big. There is no limit. Pick happiness. It's your birthright. And that's what I want to end today's session. And thank you for being here. I'm going to unshare if anybody wants to say anything. Okay, I'm going to unpin myself too. Sorry, 1 second now with all the Zoom stuff.
Gabby, you should be a therapist.
Well,